What's up, guys? And good morning. Here we go again. My job is to destroy your fear. This episode is called Power Over Fear. You know, I say some pretty crazy things, but it's not like I'm the only person that's ever said it. It's not like I'm the first person that's ever said it. This world, enslaved. Is the world enslaved? Are there evil forces that conspire against you? Can you even trust the food and the water and the medicine? I'm not a conspiracist, but there are people out there who even think that aliens have scrambled the genetic codes of human beings, blocking them off in a false reality. The soul is trapped on Earth. Lifetime after lifetime, there is no escape, there is no release, chained to this system. I do not necessarily believe in that, but it could be true, Many religions try to explain the afterlife, heaven or hell or reincarnation. No, nobody knows heaven or hell or reincarnation. There are stories of near-death experiences where they go to this kind of realm of light, or people who are like on DMT, they go to some alternate reality. Is that even real? It could just be DMT released in your brain. It could just be a lucid dream. That's what you chose to see in a lucid dream. I had an interesting dream last night that I was reborn into my life with all of the information and the skills and the energy and the discipline that I have now. And I was like reliving my entire life. I don't know if you've ever thought about this before. Like time travel, but remember everything that you know now. And I would have done like track. I would have done like wrestling. I would have been more fit. Woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I would have immediately started businesses and like made content on social media, right? From the age of 14. I mean, we all think we would have. Would you really have though? You still may want to go hang out with your friends and play video games, So that was a kind of a weird dream, but okay, well, imagine that the you in like 20 to 50 years came into your mind today, right now. It's like you already have the discipline, you already have the motivation, you already have the skills, okay? Now it's time to make something of it. I believe that this world is mostly fair. I believe that the food and the water is mostly clean, okay? I mean, dude, the only way to know is if you're paranoid and you test, everything. But you don't realize how powerful the mind is. You don't realize how powerful your soul actually is. Some think that this is like a matrix reality where human beings are like harvested as batteries. Some even say it's a conspiracy and it's through the news and they're brainwashing, It's the fear of like black magic is what it is. They're using dark and devious, magic. They're controlling the ley lines of the earth, for what? To live forever? Okay, what would you do if you were an immortal elite and you had immortality? I would imagine that's such a boring life, totally just like sheltered off in a palace. Maybe they're real. Maybe they're not real. Maybe it's the boogeyman. Nobody actually knows. What if the world was totally fair and none of that was actually true? Then why would human beings want that to be true? Ever think about that? There's only 4 possibilities. It's somewhat true, it's very true, it's not really true, or it's not true at all. There's only like 4 actual possibilities. If it's not true at all, then that tells you that human beings love to personify the boogeyman. What if the food and the water is totally fine? What if the people in government, they're like, dude, we have looked all over for these imaginary elites and we don't think they even exist. Then human beings believe in the boogeyman. Mommy, there's a monster under my bed. No, honey, there's no monster under your bed. It's going to eat me. No, it's not. Okay. What if the monster is actually just your fear? Then that means you're kind of a pussy, right? That means you're kind of a fucking pussy. If it is real, you got to respect the powers that be. If they really have alien technology, then, many countries on the planet have the capability to end life on the planet by pressing a red button, unless you have a bunker, doomsday, bunker, like, the whole world could end. Okay, then this could be a simulation anyways, and you just re-upload, Earth version 7, and like, okay, maybe consciousness is actually more digital, like a program, like a computer program. Nobody fucking knows, man. Maybe it's one person imagining billions of selves of himself. We are that one person. It's all just some weird mind thing, trance. It's a game. Or they think it's a school, or they think it's hell, I don't know, man. I'm just here to provide to you some energy in your mind, okay? We're going to yellow and blue. I got to recharge my pink still. I put a lot of pink energy. Oh my God, man. Like, it's heavy. It's intense to use heart chakra energy on social media. It is. You feel all the fucking blocks. When I'm finished healing, my power returns to me, right? Finally. It's like, where you been? Welcome back, Like, fuck. People are so tired and so defeated, I'm going to make a new group called Dream Life, and that's the completion of my life. The launch is Super Saiyan Sales. So I'll take you from a launch to realization. I'm a tone 1 mirror, and I'm a tone 13 serpent. So, I'm the enlightened animal, beast, serpent, like in the Bible, the snake. And then I am the cosmic, magnetic mirror. We like to play these little games, astrology, human design, personality types. You log into school. Most people are just tired. What exactly are we even doing online? How are you ever going to make any money doing this? What do people actually want to buy? Why would they buy it? Is it a luxury product or an essential product? Are high-ticket salespeople just a bunch of scammers anyways? What should I even post about or talk about? What groups should I join? What social media should I be on? What should my content even be? How do I make this as viral as possible? Is there a formula for the human subconscious mind? I think there is. I think the human subconscious mind lives in fear and exhaustion. I don't think that's a hypnotic curse of some evil aliens that we don't know of. I think it's the tendency for animals to just sleep all day. Like if you look at life and the animal kingdom, most of the time animals do not actually do anything unless it's time to like eat, or they're, it's mating season, in which case their hormones like take over their body and like compel them to go out and mate. Most of the are animals lazy? Most of the time, kind of like, yeah, you would say like animals do not really do anything to like accumulate aside from like hibernation. Animals are not thinking about retirement, they just live their life, and when time's up, time's up, Human beings hoard, accumulate, obsessively worry about things, especially things that like are not even there or real, Human beings are able to have a universe in their own mind, right? Every single one of us has our own universe in our own head. So you're synchronizing your mental universe with this actual universe, right? And that's how we try to manifest things. But everybody wants a better life that's easier, more money, more fame, or more love, or more friendship, or popularity, or esteem, less suffering, less pain, less, trauma, boredom. Okay, so everyone's programming that. I mean, some are not even actually programming that, but you might as well try to program that into the universe, right? And then What happens when like 8 billion people all want to have a luxuriously, dream life? We think that the dream life would be like if I had a number in an account, then I wouldn't have to worry anymore. Or if I could pull in X amount, then I could like quit my job. Right? Human beings think in these very static, kind of linear kind of things, like all or nothing things. Well, then it's this much money every month, and then I could like quit my job or do this like full time. Or this much money in the account makes me feel safe in case anything happens, right? But all of that is like artificially created in your mind, right? Of course, we need it, the money and everything, but it's all like none of that's actually real. You know what I mean? Like you could have perfect health, you could take totally like, very good care of yourself, and then something happens. We can't prepare against the unforeseeable. Wasting time worrying about things that are not real is also equally kind of pointless. Okay, I'm here to give you some mental energy and confidence in yourself. Power over fear. First of all, fear is like false evidence appearing real. Like, there's no evidence of aliens. There's no evidence of elites. There's no evidence of the boogeyman. Although all three may be real, we don't know. Okay, that's not controllable. Do you have friends that are like world leaders and billionaires? No. Are you friends with the most influential people on the planet? No. Then we have no fucking power. If you talk to every single world leader and like billionaire in every country, you might have a better picture. What do you guys think? Are there aliens? And they're like, dude, we don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? We could care less. We have the power, right? We have the power. Anyways, guys, what are we doing here on school and on YouTube, right? I'm making this YouTube video and I'm posting it on school. What are we doing, guys? We're trying to manifest our dream life, right? That's why my other group's called Dream Life that I haven't made yet. Is high ticket sales the activation of your dream life? If you want to play this digital marketing, content creation, social media game, community leader game, then yes. If you want to do it this way, yes, it is. High ticket sales is actually number one. You master high ticket sales. Then number two, you have a budget and you can run ads and you can scale up the community and make even more money and make better content and hire more coaches, right? So I clearly believe, number one, high ticket sales leads to number two, a budget for better content and in a team and employees, right? Requires money. How do we make money if we don't have a team, if we don't have professional looking content, or we do our absolute best and it still flops and it doesn't convert, right? You're trying to speak to the hearts and souls of human beings, okay? So the irony is if we're all slaves, well, the slaves are the ones casting the votes for popularity, right? We still like the ones that get the most votes, okay? It's still democratically voting on celebrities and influencers, right? We vote with our streams, so every single one of us does have an equal vote of who we choose to follow and what songs and what videos we choose to even play. So, I don't think we are slaves. I think many people believe they're slaves because, look, to have an ultimate life is so much competition. Everybody wants the ultimate life. Not everybody can have an ultimate life because then you wouldn't want it. If everybody had it, then it would no longer be valuable. If everybody had a Rolex and a Rolls Royce, it would begin to feel like Toyota, you know what I mean? Or Kia. Like, if everybody had the very best of everything, a plane and a jet, okay, everyone had a fucking jet and a mansion, then that would be like normal. Then you become desensitized to it. I don't even care. Like, then what do you want? I don't know. I want to go to space. I want to travel through time, right? We would get so bored that we would create these very strange games, Well, I want to see if I can travel backwards in time, I want to see if I can go to this other dimension. Do you know what I mean? Human beings are always going to seek the novel, the new, and the unknown. Well, then we want to become robots. We want to become cyborgs. Well, then let's try to create a soul. Do you know what I mean? We'll just do all kinds of weird shit. Then let's try to, you know, put our mind into another body. You know, all kinds of just weirdo things. That's what we would be doing. You know, what else is there to do? You know, all the jobs on this planet are to just fulfill on like basic human needs. You know, in every sector. We need energy, we need housing, we need food, we need transportation. Okay, we need professional things, I guess. You know, legal, financial, accounting, medical. All right. And then what? Insurance. Just moving things along, moving things along. Okay, health, wellness, entertainment, leisure, nightlife, dining, travel, sports, hobbies, gaming. I mean, seriously, that's about everything, right? Government things, infrastructure, you know, I don't know, right? That's basically everything on this planet. Technology, hardware, okay? Man is trying to exert influence over his environment. Okay, we all get tired. It's like we only have a limited amount of energy every day. We do our best to maximize that amount of energy, which comes from mostly fitness and from content. You know, you want to surround yourself with the brightest flames in the room, the brightest flames on the planet. But even the brightest flames still have a limited amount of energy. It's like nobody is pumping out like infinite energy all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? Um, the closest thing you have to that is an ultra endurance athlete. So I like to follow ultra endurance athletes because they have some of the brightest flames on the planet in terms of cellular mitochondria. They do. Okay. For everybody else, you know, it's usually entrepreneurs and celebrities, right? Those are the brightest flames in the world. They've achieved something. They've achieved something extremely difficult and rare. So you plug into the brightest flames on the planet for motivation and inspiration, right? And then are we working or are we resting or are we enjoying? There's only three modes to life: working, building, achieving, right? Sacrificing that flame for success, resting, turning off the brain. I just need to rest for a few days, or enjoying. I have a little bit of money to spend. Let's go have some fun. You know, let's go out, let's get some drinks, right? I have my little tokens of fun and I get to have some fun today, right? I get to go out and enjoy the city. That's all we're doing, guys, you know? And then there's the spiritual, there's the mental, there's the emotional, and then there's the physical. Maybe I want love or romance or sex. Maybe I want emotional healing or creativity. You know, find myself as an artist, start a new thing. Maybe I want confidence. Maybe I want to achieve something. That's in the mind. The mind wants to experience the imagination as reality, right? In the astral realm, in the mental realm, I want to impose my mental image onto this actual reality, and I want to see it manifest with my own eyes. I want to be able to touch it, smell it, right? Such as a rose garden in Versailles, France, or something, or the cherry blossoms of Japan in the month of February, or, you know, this moonlit, you know, dinner for two in the Maldives. You know what I mean? We want to. It's an event that we want to see, right? When you manifest, you need to have a picture of what you want to activate all your senses. That's all you can do. Imagine that it's real. I smell the flowers of the flower garden. I see the moonlit, you know, reflection of the palace of Versailles. You know, I taste the, you know, crisp champagne, right? Or delicious meal, or her lips, you know, or her saliva, my tongue down her throat. Okay, but anyways, like, you know, the touch. your foot, on these kind of damp leaves or the grass or the meadow, the crunch of snow under your boots. And then what do you hear? Maybe it's a beautiful orchestra or choir that you hired to play for this amazing dinner, this violinist or something. Sets the mood, the smell of the candles, okay, the light, the flickering flames dancing around. Anyways, so you're manifesting this dream life, right? That's why we're on here, to manifest a dream life. For some, it's because I'm bored and I'm lonely or I want to make friends. Some people, they just need something to do, okay? Well, if you need something to do and you're watching this video, then I'm telling you to achieve your dream life and join my team, right? You're on my team. We're fighting together to manifest this dream life, okay? We have to fight all the fear, all the doubt. You have to fight the insanity in your mind, and then just produce like a fucking machine all together while we're trying to build interesting relationships. I mean, it's a lot going on. This is a complex equation. We're trying to make friends. We're trying to build allies. We're trying to recruit people to our team and community. Everyone who joins your community is saying that they want to be on your team. They're just saying, I'm willing to see if I even like this team. But if they're in the room, they've elected to be on your team, even in the smallest capacity, even if they never fucking come to the room, they're still like a member. They joined your team, so you should appreciate them for being on your team, right? 70 people have joined my team. Okay, and I appreciate you guys. We're fighting this battle together. Imagine a room full of 70 people. That's a pretty powerful. If you walked around the city with 70 people, that's like a humongous size group already, but we want 1,000, 20,000, I want an army. Okay. 100,000 soldiers. Guys, we're fighting the battle every day to manifest our dream life. Whatever that means for you, you have an image in your mind of what would feel good and exciting. And maybe it happens in stages, right? It doesn't have to be all the way to the ultimate. Have a throne and a spaceship and what? Like, who even knows? Like, what's actually real? Freedom, being able to quit your other jobs, being able to do something that you love. And the price of that is a lot of energy because something has to be sacrificed. If you want something better, then it means you have to give something up, right? To receive, you have to give. So what do you have to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice sleeping in and being lazy. And sometimes you have to sacrifice fun or resting. If you want to play my game, Benjamin Ross's game on the internet, we're working extremely hard to manifest our dream life, and we have to teach people the science of monetization and manifestation. And it comes from having a skill and a personality and an image that is desirable and sellable. It can be desirable, but not very sellable. You can have all the confidence in the world, but you don't know how to fucking ask for money, right? You don't know how to present effectively. There is a skill of making money, It's not like you're magically just going to start selling high ticket. It's like, first you got to actually bring people into the room, have people to even talk to. Then you need to understand them and activate a desire in them. And then finally, you have to prove that the relationship is valuable and desirable and worth it, right? And then you get the money, and then you need to deliver on that money, right? Because that testimonial or review can help you get even more money in the future, saying, was this worth it? Yes, it was actually worth it. No, it was not worth it, okay? So, yeah. Can I deliver on what I'm telling you? Everything that I'm telling you is a sequence to go from launch to dream life. Okay. That's what I'm going to keep mashing on. This is the entire process from A to Z, beginning to end. Manifestation starts with desire, intention, and a launch. You have to be ready and willing to say, I'm going to go for it, right? I can't tell you why you're going to launch, with or without me. It doesn't matter. It's you launching towards your dream life. It's so simple. You got to launch every single day and move that ball forward to manifest your dream life. Okay? And we manifest the dream life in cycles. Me being a digital nomad and going to Asia and having money, and achieving things on the internet and making better content is all a part of my dream life, right? You're just going to keep cycling that process until either you get comfortable and you slow down, or you never get comfortable and you're trying to go all the way to the top. What happens when you achieve the top? Then you need a new game to play. If you had a big exit and you're retired, you have nothing to do, then allow me to create a game for you, because your life has become very boring. Maybe you want to make better content. Maybe your content's honestly just kind of boring. It's the same fucking thumbnails. Your thumbnails are boring. That's why I haven't watched any of your videos. It looks boring. Okay. You got to sell people on your personality. So you have to ask the question, what kind of personality do people want? Without being fake and without being, insincere, how do you be authentic on the internet? Everybody's watching you now, I don't know. I don't have to think about it. Just be real, You don't have to think about it, man. Just be real. People need to have a conversation and they need things to do. So you're creating imaginary conversations in their mind with the content that you make, because they're going to replay the conversation in their head throughout the day, and they're going to think about the things that you said. Okay, so what are the things that I want you to think about today? In conclusion, I want you to think about your dream life, man. I want you to stop being so afraid, and I want you to commit to your launch. High ticket sales is the commitment of a launch, because that's what's going to fund your dream life. That's what's going to be validating enough and exciting enough for you to keep going. Low ticket works, but it's just not validating enough to want to do it for 10 years. That's such a long time, and it's such a slow process. Don't you want fast results? Wouldn't a high ticket sale give you a boost of confidence and optimism, and make you think wow, I really think I can do this, right? You got to have a validation, a fast win. You got to have some fast validation that you can actually manifest your dream life. Every business success was on my way to manifesting my dream life, You want to surround yourself with the brightest flames on the planet. You want to surround yourself with the brightest flames on school. And just because it's a bright flame doesn't necessarily mean you like them. I follow a bunch of A1, TikTok streamers. They're the highest tier of TikTok Live. I still only like 10 to 33% of them. There's one girl, she consistently is number one on the day, and she follows me. She followed me back. I don't know why I haven't given her a single dollar. I guess probably because she just follows all the people past a certain, gifting rank, or sees something in me. But I feel like her personality is a little bit boring, and I may have offended them on accident. European people are terrified to talk about money, so I think it's taboo. Why are you guys such pussies anyways? What is there to fear? I love money. I love money, and money loves me, right? We run into each other's arms like lost lovers, finally reunited. I love money. Money is love and family to me. I cradle the money like a baby. I love money. I love you so much. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. We'll be together forever. All right, finally, we are in day 3 of the wave spell. I like to track this Mayan system called a wave spell. We're in Electric Dragon. I am a dragon, so much so I tattooed dragon on my hand. The first character means dragon. The second character, I'll let you guess what that means. But yeah, day three dragon, electric dragon. Dragon is the primal energy, you know? It's the evolution of a serpent, a lizard that wanted to become powerful and grow wings, right? It's the supreme fucking lizard or reptile, right? Closest to divine power. Fire, can fly, has magical powers, you know, the biggest, largest size, you know, it's the king of the jungle. Okay, so day three, dragon. Day three is electric. It's an expanding energy. Many successful billionaires are electric tones, day three. You know, it's an electric, it's a fast moving, you know, energy. Three energizes the wave spell. Three is adding momentum. So we're in the wave spell of Blue Storm. It's a 13, every single 13 days is one of 20 zodiac signs. They get to have their own wave spell. And then each of those 13 days is another sign in a different sequence. It's the number 13. So we're on day 3 of 13. We ended the last wave spell, you know, 3 days ago. And then a new one launches, and it just keeps launching. So I kind of do like the beginnings of the wave, you know. It increases in energy. So we're energizing the internet. We're energizing school. You know, it's exhausting to make this content, but how bad do you want it? The last thing I'll say is, I think that there is a God, and I think that there is a creator, and I think that God wants to give us what we want. But in order for us to manifest a dream life, like anything like well beyond just like good, okay, dream life to me is like 10 out of 10 life, like amazing life. Okay, amazing experiences and relationships and, you know, an amazing life. Is that what you actually want? Do you want to have an amazing life? You know, yes, then say it and claim it. We need to give about 95% of ourselves. I think that's the price to manifest a dream life. If you want to have a good life, you know, better than most, which is like 6-figure life, you know, that's already better than about 80% of human beings. You know, privileges and travel and fine dining every once in a while and a nicer vehicle and like a nicer size home. That's a top 20% life. Then you got to give about 80% of yourself. But if you want to have a dream life, then you got to give about 95% of yourself, right? And if you want to have a top 1% life, then you got to be giving 95% sustained for a while, right? Then I think you will achieve a 1% life. I think that people just get comfortable with the top 5%, 95% life, you know, and they slow down. They say, honestly, this is good enough, you know? So if that's good enough, then fine. But if you want even better, then you know, you just got to be even more consistent. Like, it's not that hard to manifest success in theory. You go as hard as you can, 95% of your energy, of yourself, you know, you're fighting exhaustion, you're fighting discipline, you're doing your absolute best, you know, grind. Okay, you'll eventually begin to start manifesting success and results in business or online, right? And then if you can stay consistent enough for long enough, then you will continue to rise. Just people just get comfortable, right? Like someone who hits A3 on TikTok Live, that may just be good enough. Why do I need to become A1? And then someone hits A1 and then they want to become like, you know, top 10, which is called Live Pro, top 10 live streamers for your entire area. And I'm friends with a few girls who already are top 10 on TikTok Live, you know, best in the world. And then what? Well, then maybe you want to become an influencer, but you're changed to going live every day, right? So maybe you want to have influencer deals and get more followers and make better content, make viral content. So anyways, like the trajectory never ends. there's a never ending amount of work to do if you ever want to become number one in the world. But for many people, 80% life would be good enough. Dream life to me is like a 1 to 5% kind of a lifestyle. A lot of travel, a lot of disposable income, permanently set for life, a large following, which means to be. Hello? Minnie. Oh my God, you're so needy. Have you ever been loved? Huh? You have never been loved before? Okay. Sweet kitty. Have you ever been loved before? No. Never have received loving. No loving. All right, guys. Anyways, I hope you have a productive day. We're going to win the day. If you want to dream life, you got to give 95% of yourself every day. If you burn out, that's fine. You can't control that. You can only control what you can control. So give 95% of yourself, do your very best. If you need a few days to recalibrate, that's fine. But you have an internal compass, like in your heart, like what is good enough and what, if you need to be pushing, or if you've been pushing so hard, it's okay to rest a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, all right? So you got to keep fighting, right? We're fighting to manifest this dream life. We're fighting together. I do offer my help at a price. If you want to know what that price is, you just check out my school community. It's inside of the classroom. There's only 2 offers in there. Okay, that's my price. And, people need confidence. They need power over fear. They need to commit. And, if you're not going 95% of your very best every day, then you're not on schedule to hit your dream life. I'm sorry. Like, do you really need me to say that out loud? Like, do you really need me to tell you that? Like, if you're not going anywhere close to 95%, then, you may hire a coach to help you pace. The coach helps you pace. The coach shows you the 95% tempo, and the coach helps you get money, helps you attract your clients, right? First, we got to build the engines, and then you got to run the engines. So it's the skill and the strategy of like, what do I even do? Set everything up. And then you still have to run the numbers and the engines. And then you need to understand how to communicate and attract your ideal client avatar. You want to attract people that have money, man. You want to attract bright flames. Why do they want to hire you? Because it's a relationship and it's fun and it's interesting. And I can give them the result that they want. You're just trying to earn your way into wealthier people's networks, and the wealthy people pay you with cash and they bring you to their network. Why? Because I'm giving 95% of myself, then success is guaranteed. That's what you need to really understand in this entire fucking video. If you can push yourself to like 95%, the universe is going to give you what you want. Like, you'll get the download. You'll know what to say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll figure out like what is the image, what's the message, who am I targeting? Like, I believe it will just be given to you, honestly. God is fair and kind, and, for those people who are willing to work that hard, they're going to be taken care of and rewarded for their excellence, because it's not easy being an excellent human being. It's very difficult, So it's like we're all just trying to climb this pyramid, and the speed at which you climb is basically just predicated on your energy level and your commitment every day. Right? So all I have to do is commit 95% every day, and then I'll probably win. Yes, you probably will win. So then why do I need to hire Benjamin? Because I just take you there faster. You have to decide if you believe me, okay? How fast, for how much money, okay? Is it actually worth it, I'm willing to help you for 3 up to 6 months. That's a lot of time I'm willing to give you. You have to decide, am I willing to launch towards my dream life? Okay? And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Now it's time for me to log in to school and get to work, right? We're giving 95% of ourselves every single day. You're giving your very best. Oh my God, it feels exhausting. Can I really do it? Can I really hang in there? It's like an Ironman. It's like an ultra marathon, you know? This is a fucking intense amount of energy, you know, every single day. Why, guys? Why? To manifest the dream life because I deserve it and I'm willing to work for it. Because I want it very badly and I will have it. That's why. See you later.